Hey!
Hey, family.
Yay!
What's going on? Welcome to your authentic love marriage moment with who? Chaz.
And Alicia, baby!
We glad you're here. We are so glad that you tuned in to us. And I want to say this, wherever you're tuning in to, okay, whatever social media platform that you're looking at us at, please like, subscribe, and share. For those of you on YouTube, hey, like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
Okay? Tell a friend right now that your authentic love marriage moment is live.
It is on.
It's on.
It's on.
How you doing, babe?
I'm great. How about you?
All right. So here we go. We
go.
are still talking about communication in marriage, right? So we're going to start off, and we kind of went into the first step last week, talking about active listening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we pray that you did get something out of last week's session with us, the session that we did last week on active listening, communication in marriage. So we're coming this week, and we're going to be talking about the different communication styles.
Yes.
Okay. Because every married couple have a different style and a different way of communicating. You agree, babe?
I agree. And it is a learned behavior as well. So
yes, it is.
It all depends on how they were brought up or how they were raised, that they will have one or four. I mean, they'll have anywhere between one and two styles of the communication when we get into it.
Right. So, as I said last week, I was going to come with you on the statistical studies that we've done in the area of communication. Right. Now, the only way that we could do it is looking at the divorce rate in this country amongst marriages. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
And guess what we found? All in a nutshell, communication is the number one reason for divorce.
Mm-hmm.
The number one reason for divorce in marriages, okay, across the board in this country is communication.
So it's not sex.
It's not sex.
It's not money.
It's not money.
It's not the in-laws.
It's not the in-laws.
It's not the job.
It's not the job.
It's not an ex from a past relationship.
Well, it could be that.
No.
It could be that. But no, communication is the number one reason. And here's the thing. We could think about. I'm telling you right now. Right. We've been in this business for the last 11 years. Okay, coaching couples to a successful marriage relationship. All right, what we get all the time. He doesn't understand me. She doesn't understand me. I can't talk to her. I can't talk to him. It's all dealing with communication.
Yeah, it is. It
right?
really is. Yes.
So let me give you some statistical studies that we found, okay? Mm-hmm. Statistics on the marriage and communication. Communication problems is the most common factor that leads to divorce at 65% in marriages. Okay. This is followed by couples' inability to resolve issues at 43%. Okay. Causes of communication breakdown in marriage involves men. Blame, nagging, complaining was a complaint of 70% of men, followed by the lack of sufficient appreciation for their spouse at 65%.
Lack of appreciation.
That's what men are saying across the board.
Saying we're nagging.
Okay. Doesn't have anything to do with ethnicity and anything. That's men that's divorced in marriage relationships. Okay. Let's see what the women are saying. All right. About this communication breakdown. All right. Women, lack of validation for feelings and opinions was number one, with women at 83%, followed by 65% who said their spouse talks about himself too much.
Ooh, so lack of validation for their feelings and their opinions, and he talked too much, and he never shut up. I'm on the tip.
And the thing is, it is true, okay? Because for one, the woman, you don't know what kind of household she came from, okay? You don't know, you would know if she's a single parent, she's taking on all the responsibilities of raising the children in the household. You know, the man he's gotten out of a serious relationship, or he was married before, and he's just hasn't gotten over himself yet. There's still some things that he wants to do. He's not too particularly ready to settle down because all of the provisions on his side is not in place yet. So he's still focusing on some of the things that he has to do. So we've seen it, we've witnessed it, and we know it is true.
Right. So one of the things you said about maybe she, was a single mom and everything like that, getting married, and so early on at the beginning of the video of this recording, I did say that communication is a learned behavior, right?
Yes.
Which also would end up involving ACEs, which are called adverse childhood experiences,
yes.
Right? So adverse childhood experiences, or adverse childhood, ACB, adverse childhood behavior, which it can be, ACB. So with that, how about if she came up in a family where the mom was so first before we go to those adverse childhood behaviors, there's the 4 communication styles. So the first one is passive aggressive, and assertive, right? So within any of these 4 styles, she or he can fit into, right? So with that being said, so you get married, you guys are communicating, and you're like, no, you're dating. So, okay, hey, how are you doing? And then, she's outgoing, enjoying the relationship. Then you guys get to the altar. Once you get to the altar, you married for a couple of months. And, we get people who have been married 3 to 6 months that come because they have the communication problem.
Exactly.
So they come in and they'll say, yeah, feel like she changed or something like that. But there can be something that happened that triggered her to change, which is ACEs, which is the adverse childhood experience, or, adverse childhood behavior, which can cause her or him to have that changed behavior in the style of communication.
Exactly.
And then if you don't correct it early, it spirals out.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we also found out in the relationship with communication, those 4 things that Alicia gave, the last one, assertive.
Right.
Okay. Being very aggressive and having direct communication,
clear,
with no filters. Okay.
Right.
Between 2 couples, two couples.
Spouse.
Between spouse and spouse, there's always one couple that's more aggressive, more assertive than the other.
One of the spouses.
Okay, one of the spouses. Always more assertive than the other.
Right.
Okay. A lot of times we have couples where the wife is more assertive than the husband. The wife is the spokesman in the relationship, right? To where the wife is the one that's cracking the whip, all right? And we find some men, okay, that we coach that are cracking the whip. That's
Vice
more
versa,
assertive, okay? And what does this do? It creates a spirit of fear in the relationship with the one that's less assertive,
right?
Okay, because one, the atmosphere is not conducive to explaining what's on your heart,
right?
So
he or she becomes they conceal the fear.
They conceal that fear, okay? They conceal the fear, just keep it to themselves. But then here's the thing: when it really blows up on the inside, and you just gotta talk to somebody, you get it out by talking to somebody,
right?
Right.
And you end up confiding in someone else other than your spouse. You know why you end up confiding in someone else other than your spouse? Because you have built up resentment against them. You're like, I don't even want to talk to him anymore. So you call up your girlfriend, call up your mother, your brother, your sister. You might even talk to your cat. Your dog.
Yeah.
Right. Or you might end up talking to someone at work, which then entails how they. I don't know. Have you ever heard this? Until then becomes your work husband or your work wife, because they know more about your marriage relationship than your spouse do. And then spouse comes around and he or she like, cutting eyes. But you know why he or she is cutting eyes? Because you have shared more. Wow. You have shared more with your work spouse or person or your girlfriend, or whoever, than even just going to talk to them, because you have built that resentment. And that resentment, that behavior, it comes in forms of resentment and the concealed fear, especially if that person is real assertive and you're passive or you're passive aggressive. Now let's talk about a passive aggressive person. A passive aggressive person, it'll leak out a little bit. So you'll be like, like, I'm cool, nothing's wrong. But then, then you'll strike at them. You strike it. But a person that's a passive aggressive. We're not talking about a person that's passive or a person that's aggressive, right? We're talking about a passive aggressive person. A passive aggressive person, their lines of communication is totally different from a passive person, an aggressive person, an assertive person. That passive aggressive person, you have to have a level of communication. You have to have a strong level of communication with a passive aggressive person. That's it. I'm shutting down. I rest my case. Hit the gavel.
She is hot. I told y'all we're going deep, okay? We're going deep in season 2 because couples need to know this information. There's nobody telling them about these different types of communication styles and what takes place during these moments of what we call intense moments of fellowship. Nobody's talking about it. You have to find it out on your own.
Right.
There is no manual to marriage.
Right.
Okay.
What? There is a manual.
Well, there is a. My bad. My bad.
We wrote
101
of them.
101.
Marriage Coaching 101 Daily
Marriage Coaching 101 Daily Tools. My bad.
Some of the things we talk about, really honestly, guys, in your Authentic Love Marriage Moment, which Authentic Love Marriage Moment was birthed out of the book called Marriage Coaching 101 Daily Tools.
She had to set me straight, okay? We did produce a manual, okay? So you can go to readerhouse.com and purchase our book, Marriage Coaching 101, Daily Twos. Shameless plug. But here, getting back to our topic, right? Communication is pretty much learned from when you're children at home. Okay, the way your mom and your dad, grandparents, however they communicated it, all right, that's how you learn how to communicate. Okay, no one sets you down and say, okay, you have to create a safe atmosphere in order for your husband or your wife to share what's on their heart. Okay, no one tells you about, okay, take your emotions down and listen. No one tells you that
safe space, right?
Yeah, no one tells you that. Okay, what do we learn to do? We learn to listen and then respond on what we didn't like,
and we respond in a manner of defending ourselves. In a manner of
defending. Grabbing leverage in the conversation,
trying to win the battle of the conversation. So
most couples, they talk at the same time where nobody's listening. Right. That's what we did in the beginning.
Yes.
Okay.
And then while both of you guys are talking at the same time, trying to get the leverage, and no one's listening, you're going, and then you're screaming because you're trying to get the leverage. And do you think by you screaming that they're really hearing and they're already in their emotions? No.
And this is what we talk about, and we developed the slogan, authenticate your marriage. What is authenticating your marriage? Okay, letting your guards down, getting rid of the fear, and exploring the real truth of your feelings in your marriage relationship
in an authentic way.
Right.
Okay. Your guard is down and you're free to speak, free to express yourself, free to love one another in the way that your spouse wants to be loved, he or she, and you're free. It's just a freedom. It's an authentic emotion, behavior. So it's just I'm literally like, if something's going on with Chaz and I have the freedom to express myself. I have the freedom to say, hey babe, you know what, I think I want to just go and go and have a massage or a manicure, pedicure, or I think I just want to just go and just let's go and walk in the park. I have a freedom when there's a need, and I have that freedom to share it without seeing like what they always say, like I'm needy.
And the thing is, as far as the statistics, with the men, okay, nagging, right? Women are nagging. I had to learn not to put that label on my wife. Okay. For me, I developed a rule for myself. Not saying that you have to take this, but if you would like to adopt this idea, okay, feel free. But when it's something that's really on my wife's heart, okay, I developed the 3-strike rule for myself, right? If she's telling me something and it's up to 3 times, it's in my best interest to look at it, because why? It's on her heart. Okay. Not saying you have to adopt that, but for me, it has worked. Has it? Right?
2 thumbs up in a snap.
Because if she's telling me the first 2 times, I'm like, okay, I'll look into it because I'm busy doing something else. The second time, okay, I said I'll look into it, The 3rd time, okay, you know what? It must be something very important. So let me check it out and give her a response. Right. Because, to be fully transparent, okay? I didn't do that back in, maybe 2015. I think it was 2015 to where I paid for it. Okay, I paid for it and it was due to finances. Okay. And I'm just now, okay, since 2015 up to now, still reaping a little bit of those negative decisions that I've made by not listening to her.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
And now, by me implementing that rule for me to make sure I listen,
it gives
to
you balance.
What my spouse says. Okay. Now, hey, it's worked for me. Okay. It's worked for me because I'm paying attention to what's really on her heart. And we do that as me. Okay. But when you implement some things in place to listen to your spouse and take in what they're saying, life for you as a spouse would be easy.
Right.
Okay. It would be easy. It will be less complicated because why? You're putting in validation to your spouse. You're making them feel validated in what they really feel in their heart and what they see. Okay. They're the other set of eyes. When we can't see, they can see.
Right. And that's your protection.
That's your protection. Okay. So, hey, thank you so much for tuning in to this topic, different communication styles. We're going to have another one for you next week, next Wednesday. So we want you to tune in to your Authentic Love Marriage Moment with Chaz and Alicia. Okay, because we're going to still stay within this topic, communication in marriage. Right. And hey, here again, as we said earlier in the video, okay, we want you to go to the different social media sites that you're watching us on. We want you to like, okay? We want you to subscribe. We want you to share. We want you to tell a friend that Authentic Love Marriage Moment is live, okay? And also, please do us a favor. If you know of any couples that's having any communication issues in their relationship,
right,
please do them a favor. Share this video with them, okay? Because communication is the key to a successful marriage relationship, okay? Right. So, with that being said, hey, thank you all for joining us, all right? Tune in next Wednesday at 9 p.m. for your Authentic Love Marriage Moment with Chaz and Alicia. Any last words?
Last words is don't forget to authenticate your marriage.
All right. You guys take care, and we will talk to you next week at 9 p.m.